After Ibrahim left that afternoon, the situation did not remain normal. As evening approached, fear returned to the neighborhood, and that night was not a good night. When dawn finally broke and the morning light appeared, Cabdi Fitax and I performed the Fajr prayer. Afterward, we went outside to see what the situation was like. We walked until we reached a place where many men were sitting together. The area resembled a military camp. We sat among them, hoping to understand what was happening and how things stood. After a short while, a man approached carrying a small radio. He was listening closely to a broadcast. As we listened, we heard the announcer say, "Allahu Akbar. This is the voice of the USC Mujahideen. Sayedbar has fled the country, and the nation has fallen under the control of the USC forces." Moments after this announcement, the men who had been sitting there began to disappear. Within a short time, no one was left. I do not know exactly why they left so suddenly, but I believe that some of them were government soldiers who realized that everything had changed. Cabdi Fitax and I returned to the house. When we arrived, we told Antamino what we had seen, and what we had heard about the departure of Sayedbar. She listened quietly and did not say much. After a moment, she told us that we would have to return home to Holwardark. She said we should pack everything and go back the next morning using her car. The following day, as we traveled, the situation was noticeably calmer than before. Only a few gunshots could be heard, faintly, in the distance. What surprised me most, however, was what I saw along the way. People were everywhere searching through houses, government offices, schools, and even military camps. Every few minutes, we saw people walking openly through the streets carrying guns. Some were riding donkeys loaded with items looted from government warehouses and homes, including weapons. Antamino was deeply angry and disappointed by what she saw. I remember her saying, "What is going on? Is this what people fought all those battles for, just to loot?" It was heartbreaking to watch my own country falling apart before my eyes. Eventually, we arrived home. By the mercy of Allah, the house had not been damaged.
On the day we returned to had rested, he told us what had happened on the day the men were killed. He explained that they had been staying in a large compound owned by men known as Elmo Adan Dalab, people who were both friends and relatives. I was in another part of the compound. After I prayed dua, I suddenly heard intense gunfire. I immediately understood that the shooting was happening inside the house. A strong feeling came over me. I knew something terrible had happened. I stood near the doorway, holding a copy of the Quran that I had been reading. As I was thinking about what to do next, one of the attackers came toward me. He was carrying a rifle, a dark-skinned man with reddened eyes. When I saw him, I was shocked. He pointed his gun at me and said, "Don't move." He took the Quran from my hands and then walked past me into the room I had come from. There was not much in the room, just a few makawis and some shirts. He took them and then left. I remained standing there for a while, frozen, waiting for them to leave completely. When I was sure they were gone, I walked toward the place where the shooting had happened. I came upon 3 dead bodies, and the women were crying loudly. I decided that we had to leave the place immediately. But the women told me that there had been armed guards stationed there and they did not know what had happened to them. A young girl from the family ran to the place where the guards were supposed to be. She found them sleeping, completely unaware of what had happened. She shouted to them, "Get up! The men have been killed." The guards did not have proper weapons. When they realized what had happened, they fled. We also left the compound immediately. We went to a place called Laful, which was controlled by a man named Ahmed Omar Jeez and his companions from the USC. Although Ahmed Omar Jeez was from the Ogaden clan, the area was under his control at that time. My grandfather told us that while they were there, fighting broke out between the USC and Ahmed Omar Jeez. Ahmed Omar Jeez was eventually overpowered, and once again everyone fled. Each person ran in a different direction. That day was the last time I saw my wife, Ardo Gawido, and all the other young women who had been living with us. It was another day of grief and another chapter of sorrow.
After we found my grandfather Noor Hashi Alice, it brought us great relief, even though Ardo Gawido and the young women who had been with her were still missing. We were living between life and death, hope and fear. My grandfather spent most of his time sitting quietly in his room. There was very little conversation. He was constantly sad and silent, carrying deep pain inside him. But by the mercy of Allah, Ardo Gawido arrived a few days later. When the door was opened, the first question she asked was, "Have you found Noor Hashi?" Alas! When she saw him sitting on his bed, she rushed toward him and cried uncontrollably. He held her gently and kept saying, "Ardo, don't cry, don't cry." The young women who had been with her survived the fighting. At that time, we were all living together in the house of Aunt Amino Chilmi Alas. Her house became a place of safety and survival. Even with no work and extreme hardship, she cared for everyone. I do not remember a single day when hunger was